What's going on, everybody? My name's Avraham, and I have put this together to try to help everybody to get set up on the latest version of the game, and also to address some of the bugs that have crept in with the latest macOS update that I became aware of when I was putting together this video and the guide. So hopefully this will help you if you're encountering the same issues. So we'll crack right on. We're going to get the latest rosters, we're going to have the latest teams, we're going to have all the current promotions, the real life transfers, whether you're using the Mac or PC, it doesn't matter. And if you already spent hours running into a wall, coming up against conflicting information, which do I use, I've kind of done all of that hard work for you through trial and error, and also fixed the bug, like I said. So hopefully you'll find this a useful video on both fronts to get up and running and really make your game as future-proof as possible and as up-to-date as possible, rather. So without further ado, we'll crack right on. So first off, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through the error that I was encountering. So I was actually recording a version of this video, and then as I was going to test it live, I encountered a bug where Football Manager would just not open, crashing on loading. And it actually happened with another app that I was using as well. And I realized that these crashes, the same thing on both apps, wouldn't even load, had happened directly after a macOS upgrade to the latest version. So I was really fuming, and Apple were particularly unhelpful, and it just seemed like they were kind of beta testing their rolled out update on people. And I spent a significant amount of time on the phone to them, and also which they weren't able to help, and then just working and playing around with things to try to figure it out. So I was able to get my game loading, and this is basically what I did. So sometimes it seems when macOS will upgrade, some of the permissions within the game can or permissions within the system basically can like start messing up. So it can be for a number of issues. It can be because of a corrupted cache that happens during the upgrade and various other things. I'm going to do this, like my version is Epic Games, so I'm going to use it. I'm going to show you just, from my side on Epic Games, but I'm pretty sure it's the same on Steam as well. You just need to find the correct version of Steam. I think in the guide I'm going to put it where you'll find that. You should find it in the Steam library. All right, but what you're going to do, essentially, you're going to go into your Football Manager 2024 folder. So this is where I can find mine. You go into Macintosh HD, Users, Mac, Library. This is sometimes hidden, so you need to make sure that yours is showing. I've put some details in the guide if you need some more information on how to get the library showing. You'll also see over here on the left-hand side, I've actually shortcutted library, generally unrelated to this, because it's very useful, particularly as I came from a PC background, moved to Mac about a year ago, and a lot of stuff that Windows users are familiar with are hidden away in library, and Mac for some reason hides that folder. So once you've located your library, I would recommend in any case adding it to your favorites, so you can always just access that whenever you need. Now, when you find your Football Manager 2024 folder, you should be pretty familiar with this if you've done any updates with skins and all of that kind of stuff. You should know where this folder is. I'm assuming that you do. What you need to do is right-click on the folder and click Get Info. You'll then be presented with this box. Now, actually, no, sorry, it's not here. It's actually in a different place. If you go into your users file, so you'll find that just in Macintosh HD, go into users, go into shared, go into Epic Games. It may be Steam as well for you there. You'll find your Football Manager 2024 file, and then you'll see the FM24 app. This is essentially on PC like an exe file. Yeah, this is, I don't even know what it's called on the Mac. They call it so you want to right click on that, Get Info, and then scroll down here to the bottom, and you'll see custom access. Now it will be locked. You'll need to unlock this. All right, and then once you've unlocked this, you'll see that's now unlocked. And then what you can do is you can actually change these to be read and write. I would recommend doing this. This actually helps a lot. As I said, a lot of these issues can be to do with permissions. This just means that if you're logged on and it's like particularly a shared user is logged on or something like that, and it requires specific permissions that it doesn't have, it will just crash the game. So make sure these are all read and write. Then you can lock up the sharing and permissions again. Then what you want to do, you want to right click on there and create a copy, and then you want to move that copy into your apps here, so that now when you go into your applications down here in the dock, you'll see the FM24. This is a shortcut of this. So what this essentially is doing is it's loading up the game from the folder of the game rather than from within Epic or Steam. It obviously will still go through that, but again, there can be some issues I've seemed to have been encountering when I was loading up Football Manager through Epic Games. Perhaps it was an Epic Games permissions issue there, but this seems to eradicate that. You're loading up FM24 with all of the full permissions, read and write, so you're just ensuring that you do that. All right, so make sure that you put your FM24 application in the applications folder so that you'll see it there. All right. The other thing you might want to do if you're still having problems is to go into your Football Manager 2024 file that we looked at before, which is found here. Generally, it's a Sports Interactive file folder. And then you want to go into caches, go in there and just literally delete everything from this file. Just select all and delete. And then you also want to go into preferences as well and delete anything that's in here, and that will kind of basically make Football Manager go into kind of like a refreshed, rebooted kind of thing without losing any of your folders. You know, some of the advice I got when we were going through this bug was that like, oh, just reinstall the game, uninstall it, reinstall it. Well, it's all well and good, but if you've spent a long time getting graphics folders and logos and all of this kind of stuff, you don't really want to lose that. Skins. So I wasn't too happy about that. Potentially you could copy all of this over, put it somewhere safe, uninstall the game, reinstall the game, and then move everything back. But I don't trust the game to pick up on everything properly. There could be some version issues or so on. So I was pretty against uninstalling and reinstalling. So hopefully this will avoid that. And that's going to wrap up the bug issues. On Windows, if you're having any issues with crashing and so on, you can go to the properties and the compatibility tabs on there, go into the Football Manager 2024 file, and again, clear preferences and cache from within there. All right, so now what we're going to go ahead and do is I'm going to walk you through what I did, and other people may have different things that work for them. You might prefer different data update. I tried a few different data updates, and for me, this looked like the most up-to-date and real-life version for me. So I would go ahead with this. All right, first, go ahead and create a folder on your desktop. I've called mine just FM24 latest version, but you can call it whatever you want. You're going to put all of your files into there. So I've already got the things we're going to download here, but what you're going to do, you are going to also go ahead and download these files. So first off, we're going to go and get the FMTU FM Transfer Update final pack here, fmtransferupdate.com. Log in or create an account, and then you want to go to download right at the top. And if you're able to support the live download and help these guys and girls who make this, put all of these packs together, you do get some extra additional things in here. I'm sure that's a massive help to them. But if you can't do that, don't want to do that, whatever, you can either download the Pro Data Pack here. This goes up to July the 1st. It goes up to June the 1st. But then you've also got the free repack, which is updated daily, to my knowledge. So today's recording is the 15th of June. So this will actually include kind of like the beta ads that people have added. So they've added 6,315 people since June the 1st. I think that's talking about since June the 1st. It may be earlier, in total. But I think it's only going to be from June the 1st, but whatever. And there's been a total of 10,799 changes. Again, I think that's from June the 1st. So if you want to go with like the really safe option, the one that's already been tested and whatever, but it won't have these changes, then download this one. If you want to have the latest one, but maybe things aren't, 100%, because this is a user-generated forum, then you can download this. And if you want the added perks like no ads, quicker downloads, and like the latest changes without having to wait for the next day's editions, then you can click this. All right. Now you'll notice that this is FM26 transfer update, and you might be thinking, well, shouldn't I be using the FM24 transfer update? Well, the FM24 transfer update ended on the 23rd of October 2025, so you won't have any changes since then. This is obviously kept up to date. Now you will find that this will work on your save. If you follow the steps as I'm going to work through with you, you will find that this will work for you. So go ahead, download this, put it into the file that you created on your desktop, and that's that done. We'll come and we'll deal with that shortly. All right, now what we're going to go and do, we are going to get the sort it out SI, and we want to have FM24 transfer update. All right, so this is, again, the links are in on the post, but here's what you want to go to: sortitoutsi.net/football manager data update /FM24 transfer update with the relevant hyphens. You have two options. You've got the enhanced one. Again, I'd recommend that if you can support the creators. I'm sure they'll really appreciate that, and it helps keep all of these things going. You've got quick updates, and I think this stuff's really cool as well. You've got attribute updates and masking. So the dynamic attributes making each. So they basically leave different things kind of dynamic, so they're not set. Whereas with the basic one, you're not going to have that dynamism. You're going to have it set as to whatever they basically created it as when they made the download. So if you go for this, you've also got some new youth players in there. So yeah, I would get this one if you can. You can pay via these options here. If you don't want to go ahead with that, or you're not ready to do that, you can just download the free FM24 version. And I actually did this one, but it looks like, I actually didn't see this, but this could even be a better one. So again, if you want to make it super realistic, you can go ahead and pay for this one with the enhanced data update. I think this is separate to the other one, so there might be, I'm not 100% sure. You may have to pay for both. But again, for 83p a month, it's probably worth it. All right, but again, if you want to go with the free download, which is only updated once a day and doesn't include that dynamism, then go ahead, free download, and download that to the same file, to the same folder that we had on the desktop. All right, now lastly, we're going to go ahead and get the notorious Pro FM24 update from FM Scout. You go in here, click download now. Now you'll note this one is FM24, all right, and this one locked down on the 1st of October 2025. But what we're going to use this for is not the transfers. We're actually not going to use a lot of the bits and pieces in here, but there are a few things we do want from this. So go ahead, download this, and also put this into your file. All right, once you've gone ahead and done that, you should have 3 zip files in your folder. Go ahead and unzip them, and we will then go into the FMTU one first. It should just be an FMF file. Now what you want to do, I like to just create a new tab here, but if you want to have a separate window, you can do that as well. All right, so I'm going to have like a new tab here, and what you want to do is you want to copy this FM26 transfers by FMTU.fmf file and put that into your editor data. Now, I should have mentioned this before, your editor data should be completely clear. So make sure that before you play around and put anything in there, make sure you delete all the files or put them into a separate place on your system that's not going to be anywhere near editor data, or you can create a subfolder, which is what I did, just in case you want to go back to things from the past where things were working, you're scared to delete things you put into there. That's also okay, but you do want to work from a blank slate. So there should be no raw files within editor data when you start. Go ahead and put that FM26 transfers into the editor data. All right, then you're gonna unzip the sort it out SI editor data. And what you want to do, you want to go in there and you should see all of these FMF files. Go ahead and select them all, copy them, and then again, you want to paste them into your editor data pack folder here. You'll see at the top, there's an optional folder as well. Go into that and you'll see one that says FM24 data update player history. I personally put this one in. It's quite a big file relative to the other FMF files, 16.2 megabytes. And what it will do is it'll give you the player history for many players on the game that may not be relevant to your league. So if you are running a slow system, slow machine, you have, it's kind of just takes a lot of time to load and process everything, then maybe leave this out. But I think for the added realism that it provides, for me, I wanted to put it in. But you make your decision on that. You don't need to put this one in. All right, and if you do want to put it in, the same thing, copy and paste it over into the editor data file. Now go back to your desktop folder that you created and go into the FM24 transfers and data update final pack by Notorious Pro and FMTU. Open this, and from this, you want to select 3 files, and only 3. Okay, if you select more, you're going to create a conflict between the other things that we've done. Okay, and they won't be up to date. So all you want to take is FM24 agents, FM24 CA PA changes. That's the current ability, potential ability, and you want to take other changes. So you'll see other changes here. Select those 3, copy them, and add them into editor data here. Okay, and that's, in terms of setup, that's all you need to really do. Ignore all of the rest of these files. If you want to start cleaning up and you want to delete that desktop folder, then by all means you can go ahead and do that. Now we're going to go ahead and get started on the game. So you're going to start a new game. You're going to click career. You should have the 24.3.0 update. If you don't, make sure you download this from Sports Interactive's website. Make sure that you select all the editor data files. Remember, we cleaned this out before, so this should only be the ones that we've now put in. And you can just run along and check. We've got all our sorted out SI files. We've got the FM26 transfer by FMTU here, updated as at June the 1st. Okay, so again, if you've got the one of the daily updates, you paid for the update, then you should have a later date there. Should be even better. And we've got all of our sorted out SI stuff here as well for the leagues. And there you go. So click confirm, and then choose game mode. You're going to choose the original game mode, advanced setup. Now, when we get onto loading up our leagues, I'm actually going to just show you how I load up the game. I find this works on my machine. I like to have a lot of detail as much as possible on there. It doesn't slow down the game immeasurably for me, even though it will show like 1 star on the top right, because I put a lot of leagues. I go ahead and do that because it just makes it more realistic for me. I like having the options of more players and the Wonder Kids and, so on and so forth. So if you want to just follow what I do, you're very welcome to do that. But, if you want to set it up as you want for your own game, of course, this is not obligatory. You don't need to do this to get everything working. And if you want to test as well, before you go ahead and create your database, to make sure that it's all working, then you can just set up, whichever league you want to see your team. For me, it's West Ham. I wanted to make sure that they were in the championship with all of the updated players. So I just basically took all of the leagues off, and it gets to loading eventually. Oh, the other thing actually you should do before you do this, you should go into preferences at the start window. You should go into preferences and clear cache. Basically, you untick the box and then reload skin. That will just give it make sure it's pulling everything through for when you load your game. So you can see this is probably taking a little bit longer than you're probably used to. That's because there's a lot of files there and there's a lot to load. All right, so I said if you're just testing it and you want to make sure that it works as you want, for me it was West Ham, so I just went into the Sky Bet Championship, deleted all of these, and then went ahead and started the game, and it worked as I wanted it to do. So now I'm happy to go ahead. This will be quite a long wait, both in terms of setting this up and the loading of it. I'll try and shorten this because it's not really relevant. We don't need to have you waiting for 10 minutes while the game loads and starts itself up. But again, if you want to follow this bit just for completeness, then you can. I'm going to go down to, we're going to go down to the north-south. No, actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go down to League 2, and then I'm going to make it, no, actually, no, I can't help myself. So I'm going to go playable all the way down to the lowest league that I have. There are also other add-ons you can get from elsewhere. They can, if you want to go, I think I saw one that went down to like the 11th or the 15th tier of the pyramid. So if you want to go really, really low, then you can do that. That's also something I might do as well at some point, because quite a fun variation. So you can do that. All right, I'm going to get rid of these and just start neat. All right, I'm going to put Australia in there, Japan, debatable about South Korea, I'm not sure. Definitely put Belgium, Croatia, Czech Republic, or Czechia, Denmark, England we've got, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Ireland, Israel, Italy, Northern Ireland, Netherlands, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Scotland, Slovakia, Sweden, Spain, Slovenia, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Turkey, Ukraine, and Wales. I'm going to put all of them in here. I'm going to put USA, Mexico, Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Peru, and Uruguay. You might think to yourself, well, why don't you just put all of them? Yeah, I could do, to be honest. Maybe South Africa as well. Now, when you're here, you can see the estimated game speed's gone down significantly, as you'd imagine. I put 141,220 players in there with a large database, and it exceeds the recommended limit of 125,000. So I'm going to go and leave this here. It doesn't bother me too much. Here, England, we're going to have this one already set up. Okay, this one is Argentina. So I'm actually going to keep this one down to the second one because there's some good wonder kids in there, and we'll keep it playable. Then we've got Australian. I'm just going to keep this, there's only the first league there. Playable. Belgian league. I'm just going to keep it to the top league here. And do playable and view only below. In the Brazilian league, I'm going to keep it just the top one with a view only below. I would assume that the top wonder kid's going to be playing in the top league in Brazil. And they will already be there. Chilean, again, just the top one. View only below. There's Colombia, top one, playable, view only below. Same. This is Norway, I think. Yeah, I'm just gonna go Norway, no, Denmark. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with the top league in Denmark as well. Finland, top league. French, I'm gonna go down to League 2. Playable and view only below. Germany, I'm going to also go down the league. Greece, I'll keep it to the top. Hungary, top. Irish, top. Israel, I'm going to have it to both. I'll just change the name. So I'm going to do playable and view only there. Italy, I'm going to do Serie B. So you can see what the pattern here. For the big leagues, you know, your Italy, your Spain, I'm going down 2 leagues. For everything else, like Brazil, Argentina, all the South American leagues, all the European leagues, I'm going just to the top one and making them view only. In Japan, again, just the top league. Mexico, just the top league. Northern Ireland, just the top league. Dutch league. Dutch league, I'm also going to go down to the second tier, and there are only 2 tiers there, so that's why we can't do view only. What have we got here? We've got Norwegian. No, we haven't done Norwegian yet. Okay, Norwegian. It does take a little bit of time just to get, you know, all set up. There's only 1 league in this one. Polish, top only. Portugal, I'm going to go down a league there as well. Hopefully get some good wonder kids in there. Romanian, we'll just do top. Scotland, I'm just going to do the Prem. Slovakia, top only. Spain, I'm going to go down a division as well. Sweden, just the top. Swiss, just the top. Turkey, I think just the top as well. We can only do top league in the MLS. Where's this one? This is Ukrainian. So again, top league only. Uruguay, top league only. And Wales, top league only. So you can see that it's come down a little bit on the database, not that much. It's still pretty much the same number of players. But I'm just going to go ahead and start this game now. And we will come back after this is loaded, and we will see the magic that is the updated databases. Okay, so that's finally loaded. It took quite a while, and I've just gone through, I've created the manager avatar, and we can see that as expected, West Ham are now in the Championship, along with Wolves and Burnley. Let's have a look at Premier League. We can see that Ipswich are there, Hull are there, Coventry. There you go. So this looks good. Let's have a look at the West Ham team. Let's view the squad. You can see Haji Malik Diouf is there. Got Tati. Somerville's stats are like a lot better than they are when you start the game. Gassa. So this looks good. You can also see, let's just go to competitions. Type in here Premier League. If we go to the Premier League, we can actually see here that it's got the past winners up to date. So we can see the 23-24 season was Man City. You can see Liverpool's there on 24-25 and Arsenal's there 25-26. But the game date will be in 2023. So this is a compromise I was talking about at the beginning. When we get to 24, 25 and 26, I think these will basically be overwritten or it will appear next to it. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to process that conflict. Hopefully it won't break the game. I think it's just going to go next to it. So it'll be a bit weird, but at least we will have an up-to-date setup for going forward. Let's add the manager. It shows. So I think it loses a couple of the seasons because obviously it's now showing that he's a Nottingham Forest from 2023 to some other time. So there's going to be some conflicts in the game with data, things like this. Owner status, loves the club, but who is the owner? Staff maybe. Boardman. Here we go. Daniel Kretinsky is the director, so it's really up to date because he's just bought the club. So we haven't got Sullivan in there. So this is like really, really good, and it's going to be a lot of fun to play this game. So I'm excited. Hope you found this helpful, and happy FMing.